We here at DraftKings are happy to be joined now by Colorado Rockies pitcher Kyle Freeland. We appreciate you joining us, dude. I know it's been this up and down year for the team, but you've been heating up as of late, including your recent performance against the Red Hot Dodgers. So after that game, you said, and I quote, "I love taking wins from these guys. I love beating them in their own park. So that's plenty of motivation for me." Why do you love beating the Dodgers so much?
So, I mean, for me, I grew up in Denver. I was a Rockies fan from the start. And, I always grew up to, not necessarily hate the Dodgers, but, it was always a team that, always wanted to beat, always wanted to have the upper hand on. So me being able to be with the Rockies now and being able to match up against them in the NL West, and especially them dominating in the NL West for the past however many years, being able to go into their own stadium with the electric crowd that they have, it's a ton of fun taking wins from those guys like that.
Yeah, for sure. And it's kind of cool how you ended up like in your hometown. What you grew up, I believe, just 10 miles from the ballpark. And it was like 2011 too. You were coming out of high school. You were picked by the Phillies in the 35th round and then decided to go to school. But a few years later, it pays off for you. So when you're looking at that, you're looking at playing ball in your hometown, your favorite team. Like, have you been able to pinch yourself yet, even like this many years down the road?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a dream come true. I mean, I feel like it's a dream for every, young baseball player who aspires to be professional one day, is to play for their hometown team, do something special for their hometown. And I was able to, and still am able to live that. I mean, for the kicker as well, being able to be drafted in the first round with their first pick. Yeah. Going home. So for me, it's incredibly awesome to be able to share this with my family, my friends, and have them come to the park, watch me play, watch me compete every 5 days at home. Being able to share that with them, just because they've been my support system for my whole life, really. Being able to share that with them is extremely special, and being able to do it with the Colorado Rockies and do some special things that we've done over the past few years has been awesome.
Yeah, for sure. What doubts did you have in your mind though? Like at the time when you decided to make that call, like, okay, I'm not going to the show. I'm not going to enter and begin my professional baseball career, and instead you go to college.
I mean, it was tough. I was 18 years old. I had the Phillies, throwing $250,000 at me. Right. At the time, I'm like, oh my God, that's so much money. Like I'm set for life.
Yeah, dude. Think of all the Uber rides, man. Like Uber Eats for life, right?
Exactly. I didn't have any friends or teammates or coaches who had been through that process before. So the Phillies did draft and follow on me. I played summer collegiate ball that year. And then when it came down to the wire, I just kind of sat down and like, you know what? I've heard so many great things about going to college baseball in general. It seemed like the right path for me to choose. It ended up being the right path. I went to Evansville. I had a great time, created lifelong friendships, was able to go to the Cape, was able to go to Alaska, play baseball during the summer, really excelled in the Cape, and then, just followed that up with a extremely powerful junior year and was able to boost my draft stock, from, possible 10th rounder all the way to a first rounder.
I miss college a lot. How much do you miss college?
I miss it so much. College was
I say it all the time. Sometimes I say it out loud. Like my wife's sitting right next to me. She's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, no, let's not talk about it.
You wouldn't understand.
Yeah, right. For sure. Dude, you've been pretty hot like lately. We're talking like a 2.57 ERA in your previous 12 starts, like entering Wednesday. What's changed for you during this successful stretch? This is some great baseball you're playing.
Yeah, no, definitely been on a roll. Had a little hiccup yesterday with a bit of an injury, but prior to that, been feeling great, being, just trying to be as consistent as possible in every aspect of my pitching, with pitch mix, my delivery, my mechanics, all that, just, rolled into one, being on the same page with our catchers. I think that's been, major parts of how I've been able to be so successful over the past, 2 months or so. And it's been a lot of fun to be able to ride that wave and have that confidence every single 5 days, knowing that I'm going to go out there, I'm going to beat on somebody.
And while it doesn't seem like a playoff season for the Rockies here, I mean, what does your focus then shift to? Like your mindset, maybe playing the role of spoiler, kind of how we talked a little earlier, you loving it to beat the Dodgers. How about the Padres and the Giants?
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. You know, obviously we're pretty far out of the wild card race. We would need a lot of good things to happen for us and a lot of bad things to happen to a handful of other
Yep.
teams. But yeah, you know, kind of the role that, you know, I personally am playing, and I'm sure, you know, the rest of the team is playing that spoiler. You know, we play the Giants for 2 more series. We're done with the Padres, but we play the Dodgers again.
Mhm.
So yeah, you know, being able to play spoiler and, you know, go out there where a team might look at you and might take you for granted, you go right back and you bite them in the ass with that. They're going to be a little salty. They're going to feel that pressure of, you know, especially here down the stretch, last 30 days of baseball.
And Coors Field is this different planet almost. Like we see it, it's a hitter's paradise. We see it in DFS, DraftKings, like everyone targeting hitters and high game totals like on the DraftKings Sportsbook. What difference do you notice when pitching at home compared to on the road?
So I'm sure you may have heard it before, but so for pitching here at home versus on the road, your stuff is not going to move quite as much. And as a pitcher, especially a starting pitcher, where you're trying to log, you know, anywhere from like 6 to 8 innings every single outing, you have to understand how your stuff is going to be playing at altitude and also at sea level. It's obviously nicer, you know, going to sea level. Your stuff is going to be a little bit nastier. You're going to have some sharper break. You're going to have bigger breaks. So that's always fun to see. But, you know, bouncing back and forth, it's a constant adjustment for us, where, you know, we're doing everything we can to understand how we mix things here at home and on the road.
Did that take some time to adjust like to that difference, especially early on in your career?
Yeah, I think for the majority of us, especially myself, Marquez, Senzatella, and Johnny, it took us a certain amount of time to really grasp like we need to do going from sea level to altitude. And I think, you know, showing this season, I think with how consistent we've been, especially at home, making that adjustment, I think it's shown that we have somewhat truly grasped the kind of adjustments that we need to make series by series going from altitude to sea level. And I think our numbers have showed that. I think we have, you know, one of the better starting ERAs there overall through the season.
Yeah.
Innings pitched wise, you know, same thing. We're right there at the top as a starting core. So I think we've done a good job of grasping those adjustments.
Because again, like growing up pitching in the area, like you knew what it was like the mile high, you know, what it's up like way high up in the sky, but not necessarily sea level. And I know you've been in the league now for a little while, but early on in your days, what was your starstruck moment? Maybe going up against like a childhood idol.
Oh man, I mean, there's a couple. You know, getting to face one big one for me was Beltre when we played Texas in 2018. I punched his ticket, so I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, one of the best hitters, you know, out there that, you know, got to play the game, and he played the game forever. You know, other ones are, you know, getting to face Yachty, getting to face, you know, Trout, those kind of guys, you know, having success against them, and, you know, being able to say like, you know, struck you out, you know, something like that. It's been really cool. So those kind of small starstruck moments is kind of what I got.
Yeah. And now you get to play against some of like the best offenses too. So it's like, oh geez, slam Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen that you've been really involved with the Special Olympics Committee. Fill us in a little bit on how you originally got involved with this group and the fundraiser that you're running.
Yeah, so Special Olympics, you know, it goes all the way back to when I was in rookie ball in Grand Junction. My host mom, she was deeply involved with Challenger baseball down in Grand Junction, Colorado, and that's kind of where everything's first started. And then in 2018, I was fortunate enough, we had an off day in Seattle, and I went and attended the USA games that they were having going on up there. So it was cool to walk around, you know, see the different athletes, see them compete, you know, get to interact with, you know, the Colorado athletes that were up there competing, and to see them, you know, do their thing and out there, you know, just like us, competing, wanting to win, pulling for one another. It was awesome seeing. I just fell in love with all those kids and how they're not different at all from us. They want
Right.
to compete, they want to win, they want to have fun, and it's awesome to see that and being able to talk to them and compare things and talk about sports in general and the enjoyment that we get out of competing is really great. So from there, just continue to make steps with Special Olympics Colorado in general, and now I've been doing some raffles with signed baseballs from guys from different teams. And the big one is the custom glove that I did for this year. That's my shag glove, my throwing program glove. Made it all a bunch of wacky colors. Looks absolutely ridiculous, but it got Special Olympics Colorado on the side. So we'll be auctioning, or not auctioning, we'll be raffling that off here at the end of the 2021 season, and hopefully raise a good amount of money.
That's great, man. That's really cool that you do that. And I know for a lot of people, it puts life in perspective, like how happy those kids are out there.
100%.
I know you guys get paid a lot of money, but you have a bad outing and say, it's not the end of the world. You know what I mean? Like, look how happy like these kids are who are battling issues that we can't even wrap our minds around.
Yeah, it puts life into perspective very quickly. And that's one thing that I love about it.
Before you get out of here, let's talk about your Broncos real quick. How we feeling about Teddy Bridgewater over Drew Lock, for the starting quarterback position?
I'm excited. I think we do this in spring training, but you obviously see it between Locke and Bridgewater. Creating competition in camp. Who's going to step up and who's going to take that role and want that role. So I'm excited for Teddy to get out there and do his thing and use the weapons that they have on offense. And, hopefully we can put together a really good year and, get back into the playoffs.
Yeah. The Broncos going to sneak into the playoffs.
Sure.
That's a tough division, dude.
I know it's a tough division, but I'm excited for him.
You got a favorite player on the team?
I mean, it's hard to, shy away from Von Miller.
It really is.
Got to meet him a couple of times, got to talk to him a little bit. But I love watching Jerry Jeudy. He's something electric on the field.
Yeah, 100%, man. There's definitely talent around Bridgewater to work with this year on the offensive side. Oh, wait, we have a bonus question for you. We heard you have a tattoo on your arm that says, "My city told me it needed me, so I'm grinding for that." What was the reason behind it?
So my favorite artist is Machine Gun Kelly, and one of his probably say now much older songs. He says that lyric. He's been a guy I've been following for a really long time. He actually went to Thomas Jefferson, my high school, for a few years. So we kind of got a little connection right there. But yeah, he's one of my favorite artists, if not my favorite artist. And just kind of been following him. Really love that lyric. Kind of played a role in my life with that lyric. So when rolled with it, decided to get it tattooed on my arm permanently. Yeah.
When was that? When did you decide to get it?
Oh, I got that probably my rookie year. So 2017 is when I got that putting on there. Since then I've added quite a bit to my arm. So it's almost complete.
I really like his girlfriend, Megan Fox, too, in Transformers. That was a really good movie back in the day.
You're not alone on that.
I know, dude. All right, Kyle. Awesome catching up with you, man. Keep up the great work on and off the field, and we'll keep in touch, right?
Will do. Sounds good. Thanks for having me.